Welcome to Rebirth Podcast. Tonight, I am going to be sitting down with my sons for a post Mother Day special. So make sure you tune in, like, share, and subscribe to Rebirth Podcast.
Out of the ashes we will soar to a destiny we can't ignore. Heartbeats echo through the night with every dream and endless flight. Together strong, let's break the mold. Our rebirth and stories told. It's time to renew, rebuild, restore. Unlock the dreams we've been waiting for. Rise up higher, more and more. With every breath, a new dawn's roar.
Welcome to Rebirth Podcast. I'm your host, Shea Marriott. Thank you guys for tuning in. Happy post Mother's Day to all the beautiful moms that's out there. I hope you had a wonderful time. And I hope that your children honored you yesterday on Mother's Day. I hope your children honored you on Mother's Day. But tonight, we're going to have a little Mother's Day special show. As you can see, these two young men that's sitting on the couch. I talk about them all the time, but I'm going to introduce them to the world today as my sons. Welcome to the Rebirth Podcast. This is my son, Xavier Marriott.
Hi.
This is the oldest one. And this is my youngest son, Brycen Marriott.
Hi.
Oh, wow. Really? Okay. Believe it or not, y'all, they talk way more than this, but we're going to see how the night go. So I wanted to just sit down with my sons and have a special moment with them for Mother's Day, and just to kind of share them with the world. I talk about them all the time. I talk about our relationships, and now I'm giving them the opportunity to really ask anything that they want to ask of their mother, but also to explore what our mother and son relationship is. So guys, I thank you for joining me on the couch. How you feel?
I feel good.
Oh, you feel good? Okay. How you feel, Brycen?
Pretty good.
Yeah. So Brycen, you've been on the show before, so I think you're not a stranger to this, right?
Nah, I'm kind of used to it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I want to start out by saying that how I view the relationship with my sons, I'm very, very protective of my sons, and I think they are protected of me as well. But I want to start out by just sharing with everyone a little bit about our relationship as mother and sons. I am a boy mom, right? So how do you guys experience me as a mom?
You go. You could go first.
Well, I would say like you was very strict on this good standpoint of making sure that we was good. You know what I'm saying? Like you never really hold or like try. Not saying like you held us back, but like you never made us go or let us go too crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I feel like you did an amazing job on that, and let us have our freedom to see what we want to pursue and things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. What about you?
To go off of him, I feel like personally, you gave us room to like grow,
Okay.
and you opened doors for us that we think that we was gonna be able to go through. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I appreciate that. So what do you guys when you think about, relationships, I know sometimes you guys share with me, different experiences, maybe even some experiences that your friends may have had with their own parents. And I also sometimes share with you, when it comes down to um how I feel about you guys as sons, and how you guys didn't put me through a lot of craziness, growing up, and even at the age of 20 and the age of soon to be 19, you still don't put me through any crazy stuff. And you're very respectful towards your mom. So what do you think, like, how do you feel about our relationship as mom and son?
I got it. Personally, at first, it was always good, but I feel like now that I've been in college for a little bit, it's just kind of strengthened. Well, really, my last year of high school. So, like the last 3 years, you kind of became my best friend. At first, you wasn't.
Oh. Why wasn't I your best friend at first?
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Because it was like, it wasn't that I couldn't tell you nothing, but it was just more so like, you like, I feel like sometimes you understand kind of where I was coming from. Because you was born like a while ago.
Are you serious right now? I was born in 1972.
I was born 2005. That's like 3
Okay, all right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like I feel like it's almost a disconnect. And now that I'm older, then it's like kind of more connected. You understand stuff on a different level, and vice versa.
Yeah,
yeah. That's why like that our relationship strengthened. That's why like I could say you my best friend now.
Oh, buddy, thank you. I love you. I love you. Yeah, man, it was hard. I think just parenting, trying to learn how to parent, at age appropriate parenting, parenting you at 10, 11, and 12 is very different than parenting you at 17, 18, 19, and now 20. You getting old, by the way, son. Anyway, Brycen, Brycen, what about you?
Really the same thing. But I feel like for me, like you always like help me, like especially because when I was younger, like going through like the anger issues and stuff like that. So like that, you definitely did help me during that, like a lot. I really do appreciate like everything that you've been doing from like obviously the start of my life up to now,
right?
And without you, I feel like I still would have had like some issues with like anger and stuff like that. But I'm glad I ain't like that no more. You feel me? So
yeah.
I just think I really, like I said, I can't praise you enough or show you as much. I wish I could give it back, but I know
you do give it back, son.
Like
Yeah, you do give it back, right? And I think y'all so silly. I think really paying it forward, right? Like just taking from your experience with your mom as well as your father, and just leveling up with your own children when that time comes, right? You want to always make sure you do better than what we did. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the motivation was for me. I had my mother, was amazing, right? But I also wanted to make sure that I took it up a notch, and make sure that I did better than what she did. Not that she did a bad job, right? But I just want to make sure the things that I learned from my mom, that I can also upgrade that and then instill in you guys. So I'm grateful. You guys know how much I love you. I love y'all so much. And I want to talk a little bit more about just the freedom of our conversation, right? And I know, Xavier, you said you can talk to me about anything. And I'm really speaking to the younger folks that may be watching, because I think that, do you feel that that's important when it comes down to your parents? Do you feel that you should be able to go to your parents and talk to them about anything? Like, what is your thoughts on that?
Yeah, because I feel like,
come up to the mic.
Yeah, I feel like because y'all been like, obviously y'all older, so I feel like personally y'all been through a lot more. So similar mistakes that you made, I'm obviously gonna make, and then but you could guide me on how to not do it again or how to cope through whatever it is. So
yeah,
it's just like you kind of paved the way and we walk or run.
What about you, Bryce?
I mean, basically the same thing. Like you said, you gave us the way. You showed us a way to open the door, and then we just walked right through it. So I think really everything that he just said, I just completely agree with.
So I wanted to talk a little bit with you, because you said that earlier on you had anger issues, and I don't know if they were. I don't feel that they were anger issues. I know Xavier. I think it was more of an emotional regulation, not really understanding your emotions and not being able to convey what you were feeling to us, right? And no, they were anger issues. Well, what was you angry about, son?
It was just like, he was a bully back then.
So
I felt like
he said you was a bully.
when we was playing like hide and seek.
I'm not hearing it.
That was bad.
Hide and seek.
Yeah.
So what happened with the hide
So
and seek
every
game?
time that, because they knew I was the slowest in the friend group, so they'll purposely choose me.
Oh,
So what I would
okay.
do, I just come in the house and watch them run around, and then I'll know where they are, and I'll find them. And they
Right.
didn't catch on until like.
Yeah, but you throw like a temper tantrum.
Well, that's cause like y'all was bugging.
No, we what?
Yes,
we
y'all
played
was.
was bubblegum.
Bubblegum, yeah.
We played that every time and use it every time you got it.
Yeah, cause y'all kept, cause like you knew I wasn't catching nobody, and y'all had to give me a handicap.
It wasn't no handicap.
It was a
So
handicap.
that's what. So is that the start of
Yeah,
your
'cause,
anger
like,
issue?
They handicapped themselves.
So you're
Yeah.
saying. So he said that you was a bully.
No.
No, you don't agree.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He was.
To a degree.
Yeah. So you know what I love? To a degree. You know what I love about being a mom? Oof. I got a little emotional there. Um, I get a chance to watch you guys grow up together. You know what I'm saying? As siblings. Now, I know you have your sibling rivalry stuff going on at times. But for the most part, you guys love each other and you have each other's back. But I just love watching y'all relationship. And he's the big brother. He's the big brother. Um, However, Brycen has really grown into his own level of maturity. And I think because he was always the younger brother and also the youngest of the friend group. So we had neighborhood full of kids and they would all tend to come to my house. And so these are my biological sons, but then their friends I also call my sons. And they have a very high level of respect for me. Some of them have actually come and supported me at the Rebirth Live events. And just them growing up and now them being young men. And one is in where is Tevin? He's a Coast Guard. He's in a Coast Guard. And Josh and G and they're all great young men. So Brycen was the youngest, right? So of course, he's going to get it all the time being the youngest. But Brycen has now surpassed them in height, most of them in height, but he has grown up to be a very amazing young man. So feeling like you were bullied, and we'll say a friendly bully. He wasn't bullied y'all, but just the one. He's the youngest of the group. How do you now take your place amongst your friends group to say, hey, you're gonna respect me? Because I know you're big on that about respect.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
speaking of Mike, honey.
Oh, my fault. I mean, like you said, I'm the tallest in the friend group, or one of the tallest. So, people that are especially my friends, and especially him, you know, since I'm taller, I don't. Nah, I'm just playing. But for real, like I don't. I grew up to realize, it wasn't out of hate or anything disrespectful.
Right.
I knew it was just all for the games, and I feel like younger me probably wouldn't have got that, but I get that now. So, and I was back then was afraid to say stuff back because I was dealing with different things.
Yeah.
And but now I can say a lot back, but it's all out of love and stuff like that. So I do, like, all my friends, and they also paved the way where I like Josh. I'll be hanging out with Josh more often. He's like going to the gym more.
Right.
So he's even though he kind of talked to me like I'm still young, I still I demanded the respect because like he's my man.
Yeah.
So if I'm 18 now, you gonna have to talk to me like a grown man. So like now he's talking to me like a grown man, and I feel like everybody else does that too. When I like really asked them to do that because they see me growing up.
Yeah.
Like back then that little kid stuff was cool, but now like I'm
in a different man. Yeah, absolutely.
And
yeah. How important is to have each other, you and your brother, and I'm being serious. I know we joke around a lot or whatever. So I have a real quick story. When we brought Brycen home, my sons are 19 months apart. So when we brought Brycen home from the hospital, Xavier was actually sitting on the couch. My mother was here taking care of him while I was giving birth to Brycen. And we brought Brycen home in a car seat and we sat him by the step. And immediately Xavier pointed at him and he was just like, take him back, take him back. So, so I'm just curious to hear from you guys, like how important it is, the brotherhood that you have, and to know that you have a brother, that you grew up with, that's always going to be there. When mommy and daddy are both gone, you guys are going to have each other. How important is that for you, Xavier? And then I want to hear from you, Brycen.
It's like a built-in partner.
Oh, nice.
So like, even though sometimes we got our disagreements, uh, you know, I know where he lay his head at.
Mm-hmm.
So you like we room right next to mine. Feel me? Both live in the same house. Like I said, it's like a built-in partner, built-in
Yeah.
best friend. So it's like, yeah. And then our bond is like special. So
Mm-hmm.
we have a certain way of communicating with each other that
Mm-hmm.
really only us will get. But yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. What about you, Brycen?
You know, the best way I could put it is that's my brother. I do anything for my brother. Like it don't matter what. Well, yeah, it don't matter what. But I hold him to a certain extent where I put, you know, God, my family,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, out of all my friends, it don't matter if he's right or wrong. Like that's my brother. I'm always gonna stick by
Yeah.
him. It don't matter who talking. If somebody talking to him crazy, that's my brother.
Right,
So you
right.
know what I'm saying? It don't matter. To me, it could be one of my other friends. Even if he's in the wrong, I'm gonna take my brother's side to a certain extent. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I know he got my back, so I don't gotta
Yeah.
worry about nothing like
Yeah.
nothing crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. And I think it's very important because unfortunately I wasn't able to experience that, so to be able to see it, the relationship that you guys have with each other, that was something that your father and I, we wanted to make sure that we brought you guys up with a strong relationship and a strong connection. If things go in the order that they're supposed to go, meaning your parents die before you do, right? Because then when a child leaves before the parent, I feel it's so out of order. But if things go the way that they're supposed to go, it does my heart good to know that you had, oh God, here I go, getting emotional, that you have a brother, you have each other
Mm-hmm.
to to keep everything going. That's so important to me. So yeah, let me move off of that because I wasn't, y'all know I'm just a big baby. Don't you get emotional. So with that being said, guys, it was just so important for me to have you guys on. This was something I've been wanting to do. Brycen, you've been on the show before. Xavier wasn't able to come on during that time. I think you had a basketball game that night or something, but you both were still in high school when it happened. And you were on with my former co-host Eli Isabel with his daughter, and you guys did a wonderful job with the show. So, you guys got any questions for me?
I think I got like one. I'm trying to see how I can put this.
Okay.
Um, as a mom, what was one of like the most tedious things that you seen us do? I should say,
The most tedious things?
like the something that really got under your skin. I guess.
Keep that with you.
You don't want to know. I would say argue with each other. Yeah, yeah. That probably that's hard for me, and that still is hard for me. Although I do know sibling rivalry it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have disagreements. Um, but I don't think you guys ever. I don't think you've ever taken it like to the place where it was like truly out of hand. I think y'all may have gotten one physical fight that I'm aware of. But as a mom, that is more hurting for me, is you guys disrespecting each other, right? I understand you're going to argue, but you shouldn't get to the point where you call each other out your names, or I don't ever, it will hurt me to my heart if your relationship was to just like you don't talk to each other, you're living your life, he's living his life, and y'all don't have any relationship, because that's not how I brought you up. That's not how we brought you up. So that would really truly hurt my heart. Yeah. Yeah. What about you? You have a question?
Nah.
No. So what's next for you guys? I know both of you are in college, and what's next? What does life looks like? What does life look like for you, Brycen?
A well-paying job,
Mhm.
a nice house.
Mhm.
I want an M4, GT 500,
Oh my
a
god.
Dodge Charger Hellcat, all of that. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? And then a wife maybe.
A wife,
Yeah,
maybe?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad you said the wife before the child, so that's good. Okay. What about you, Xavier?
Honestly,
Go home, please.
2 years when I graduate, buying a house, then I'm starting my family.
Okay. All right. All right. I think that's a good time.
Mhm.
2 years. You was a person that didn't even want to have children, so now you're considering.
Everything changed with the right person. Everything changed with the right person.
Okay.
So,
All right. All right. That's good. All right,
Got
guys. Well, I appreciate you so much, and
no problem.
I want to end it on it. Really,
No, my fault.
I want to end it on this. Um, how important is your relationship with God? Because I think that people need to understand, even at a young age, it's important to have a relationship with God. And that's something that your father and I both tried to instill in you guys. So I just want to kind of hear from you. And then the other question I have, and maybe you can answer this one first. What do you think is the misconception about your generation?
man, oh man.
Okay.
Well, first with God, I used to have a bracelet that said I'm second. I mean that God is first before I lost it. So I need to get another one, but like I feel like that explains it enough.
Yeah.
That you can't do nothing without God. And what I feel like is wrong with our generation is people rather be baby moms and baby dads than wives and husbands. And
Mm.
everybody is so like concerned with everybody else's business. So like everybody's nosy. Everybody just they want to all be like celebrities, kind of like
Mhm.
it's just forced. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's
That's
it.
good, son.
Mm.
That's good. What about you, Brycen?
Well, I be trying to do my best in God's name. It's,
Not in God's name.
yes, I be trying, and I'm
Mhm.
doing better with it. Um,
Mhm.
to really deepen my belief and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and study his word. But for your other question, for our generation, well, I mean, just to name a couple things off my head, like everybody think let's say, like if you go on TikTok, well, everybody's so into social media, and I mean, I'm one of those people. Like social media
Mhm.
is like,
Mhm.
but I mean, I'm not posting everything about my life. I'm not starting arguments over, it could be about money, it could be
Mhm.
about gender, it could be about this, it could be about
Mhm.
that. So I feel like everybody kind of has a problem with each other, and a lot of people are hating on random people. Like
Yeah.
you can't do
Yeah.
nothing out here without getting hated on,
Yeah.
you know. And I mean, you could use that as fuel, but it also gets to a point where, like, I'm just trying to do me. Why are you hating? You
Yeah.
know. So also, what else? Of our generation. Well, if we're gonna move on to like relationship standpoints, I feel like social media killed romance, just how
Mm.
people view things.
Mhm.
Um, especially um like in our community, like the black
Mhm.
community, like
Yeah.
there's like certain things that people be saying, certain standards that a lot of
Right.
people be having, like, you know, you try to do this and get this person, but what do you bring in, and this person, and what do you bring in? And
Mhm.
it's kind of just like everybody's up and down, but nobody's like trying to find something to fix it,
Right. Right. Right.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I feel like our generation is like just a bunch of crazy people. To be honest, yeah, YNs. I ain't gonna lie, you know. But
Yeah. So, I mean, is there any suggestions? Like, what can we do to change the temperature of what that looks like? Do you think having more? Go ahead.
Oh, good.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
Do do you think maybe having even just having more conversations like this is a start, right? Normalizing having a good relationship with your parents. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Normalizing being able to be open and talk to your parents about anything, right? And I think that was the biggest thing in this household. I wanted y'all to be able to understand that no matter what it is, and you guys know that no matter what it is, I don't care what it is that you come to tell me, you know, talk to me. I'm going to be open. I'm going to listen, and that's important. So what were you going to say?
Oh, go to Brycen. I lost my train of thought.
What?
I lost my train of
You
thought.
lost your train of
Yeah.
thought? Okay, it's all
What was
good.
I gonna say?
Yeah, he forgot what he
Oh,
was
never
going
mind,
to
never
say.
mind. I feel like with some people, you just gotta be yourself, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes conversations won't help because people are sheep and they can't think for themselves.
Mm.
So once they see like Orlando Brown,
Mm-hmm.
they see Orlando Brown like do something and then they just gonna follow.
Mm-hmm.
So if he do, it's really about the celebrities and all them influences or influencers.
Mm-hmm.
When they start posting or promoting positivity and
Mm-hmm.
all that like more, then people are gonna follow. But until that happen, then ain't nothing
Mm-hmm.
gonna change. It's gonna be the same stuff.
Mm.
So it's
Okay.
really up to them, and really it's probably not gonna happen because that's how they make their money. Like you got people like
True. True.
I can't even think of nobody, but yeah, like tracking people.
Yeah.
So
So I think if
that's how
there's
they make their money.
more positive vibes out there, right? Like
Mhm.
even podcasts. I talk to you guys all the time about starting your own podcast. You don't have to follow the trend. He's saying no, but you don't have to follow the trend of everybody being so negative. You can put something, you be the change that you want to see in the world. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? It starts with you. And that's how I will pretty much wrap up this episode is you be the change that you want to see in the world. It starts with you. So parents, it's okay. My sons, my relationship with my sons are it means so much to me, and I'm so grateful and I'm blessed, and I thank God every day that he blessed me with these two amazing young men. um I'm learning every day. I never claim to be the perfect parent. There's times I do ask you guys, how are you guys experiencing me as a mom?
Mhm.
Is there anything, right? I do ask you guys that question. Is there anything I could be doing different? I could be doing better. And because I want to learn from you. And I think oftentimes because we are older, as you say, son, we are older. Sometimes we think that sometimes people parent as if our children don't have a voice. Your children have a voice and you need to hear it and you need to hear them. And especially when we're talking about our teens and growing into a young man or a young lady.
I got some.
What?
Speaking on it, for parents, I feel like instead of saying I don't know, like just give them a reason. Not that
Mm-hmm.
you owe it to them, but just like it just builds that relationship.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if I go to McDonald's, we got McDonald's at home, or like stuff like not
Mm-hmm.
that, but like just like they ask for something, or you say I don't know, or I can't, or no. Like you
Right,
just give them a
right.
reason, and it's like okay, well that's why. Not just
Yeah.
because they
Because
think
I said so,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
nah, that don't do
Yeah.
shit.
And that was something that I also realized for you. I really tried to do that with you because he was a why person. He was a why. Xavier always had a very what I would say, I say you have a, oh my God, I can't even think of it. I said as a kid, it's gonna get you some butt whoopings, but as an adult, it's going to be powerful for you. His willpower. Like he wouldn't take no for an answer, and it was always why. And we know as parents, we always say because I said so, or don't question me or whatever. But whenever he did that, I will always try to give him an answer because I didn't feel that he was doing it to be disrespectful. I think he just wanted to know why. Well, why can't this happen, mom? Or why can't this happen, dad? Or whatever. And sometimes as parents, we get frustrated. I'm glad that you brought that up because I do think that was something that really played a big part in your life. Sometimes we do need to be a little bit more vocal about certain things, and it's not always about, well, they need to stay in a child's place, or children are to be seen and not heard. We have all these little old school sayings, but how can they even grow or flourish as young men and young women if you're not giving them the tools, if you're not giving them the vocabulary, if you're not, giving them the information for them to expand upon and for them to really understand, right? So, yeah. All right. Any other questions or comments, guys? Any last minute words? No? Y'all want to shout out anybody?
Shout out Josh. Shout out me, cause why not? Shout out Ma.
Why not?
Shout out G Money. You know what I'm saying?
All right. And shout out to your mom, right? Why?
Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.
Thank you,
Oh
son.
God.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys, for sharing this special moment with me, this special post Mother's Day moment. I love you guys.
Love you too.
You are my young kings and you are my heartbeats. Thank you, guys. You have a great night.